all I can think about is all the grind that we put in, you know, the fights, the competing in practice, the arguments, all of it pay off at the end when you turn into a family. 28 wins to do that.
For most college basketball teams, 28 wins would mark a successful season, especially while breaking school records. But for the San Diego City College men's basketball team, 28 wins and breaking school records was not what they wanted to accomplish. It was just part of the process. After defending their home court against Riverside City College in the third round of the Southern California playoffs, the Knights secured their ticket to the Elite 8 tournament in San Francisco, and were just 3 games away from achieving their ultimate goal. But the story doesn't begin here. How did the Knights arrive at this moment? And more importantly, how does a group of players become a family of brothers?
I'm excited about actually getting to play with this group of guys for the first time, really. There's like 5 or 6 returners maybe, but the rest of the dudes are completely new. So I feel like we have a great chance this year. Last year we had a good chance, but this year I feel like we're stronger everywhere around. Like every position we're deep. So if 2 guys get tired, 2 guys can go in and do the same thing that are just as good.
Well, we definitely have a lot of talent at all positions. And what's nice is that we all, well, of course we all get along well together and we all have the right work ethic. You see guys behind me in here getting shots up, guys are afterwards getting shots up. You know, on the weekends they're somewhere else getting shots up, working on their skills. So everyone here has the right mindset, the right attitude to perform well.
Right now we're really eager to like play against someone else because we've been going at each other for like the past 2-3 months, and like we go to the weight room three days out of the whole week. We're in here at night, getting extra work in. You know, we're putting in new stuff every week. We're getting prepared. We had 2 tournaments over the summer, so it's really a grind right now.
The intensity level of the preseason practices were the first highlights that revealed the year will be different. The Knights were making every bucket, every whistle, and every second count as the season was just weeks away from tip-off. After going undefeated in the conference the year before and winning their 5th conference title for the program, the team was looking to continue their momentum. But even with a good core of sophomores, the Knights had some growing pains on the court.
Our problem is we'll have 5 guys on the court and only 4 of us are giving it 100%. But we need everybody to give 100, not 99, not 98. All of us, all five kids got to give 100%.
We need to put value on these preseason games because they do mean something. So I'm just trying to let these dudes know that it's not all fun and games. Like, we got to take this stuff serious right now, and it will affect where we end up in playoffs if we end up playing at home or away. And that kind of messed us up last year. We ended up playing an away game and lost by 1 for the playoffs. But if we would have been here, who knows, we could have maybe won that.
The Knights fell short in the second round of the playoffs, and it was this early playoff exit in 2016 that fueled the team in their new season. And even with early season struggles before they played their first game, the players rallied around the idea of winning it all.
Right now, I just want to get these guys to understand we just need to focus on playing as a team and being a family. When we do that, it lends to winning. So I feel like our end goal is to win a ship, but we're not worried about it right now, I could say. Or at least I'm not. I'm trying to get these guys not to worry about it, get it off their minds, because we have a long season ahead of us.
Well, I just want to get out there and compete as a team. I mean, we're battling with each other every day, and it's kind of a love-hate, you know. You're in separate teams in practice, but really you're still one team together. So I'm ready to get out there and battle with my brothers.
To begin their season, the Knights battled it out in the 11th annual San Diego City College Tournament. The team took care of business early on and defended their home court against Barstow College in the first round, where their defense surged them to victory. The Knights recorded a total of 18 steals and played with high energy that eventually carried over into the second round against Citrus College. The Knights couldn't grab the steals like they did before against a team that also made the playoffs, but the Knights took care of business on the glass and recorded a total of 51 rebounds and had a strong effort from their bench to get the second win of the season.
Them first 2 games, bro, to be honest, like, we knew we were gonna win those. Like, I just knew that no one matched up with us physically or like size and skill-wise.
The Knights found themselves competing in the championship game of their tournament against Fullerton College, another team coming off a playoff loss the season before. Even though it was just the 3rd game of the season, the battle between these two teams had a playoff-like atmosphere. San Diego started off poor, unlike the performances from before. The shots weren't falling, and turnovers in the first half didn't help with gaining any momentum leading into the second. But San Diego kept pushing and kept Fullerton College within striking distance. The Knights had their chances to take the lead, but could never catch a break. Even with a strong windmill dunk from freshman Robert McCoy, it wasn't enough to ignite a comeback. The Hornets eventually broke free and had a comfortable double-digit lead in the last 3 minutes of the game. But the good thing out of all this was that the loss against Fullerton College ignited a desire and a hunger for a team that unknowingly had the ingredients of a championship team.
We hated Fullerton after that tournament because I got a technical foul and then we slipped. We was winning at first and we slipped and they came back and beat us at home in our first tournament. You know what I'm saying? It was our tournament and the next week we knew that we wanted to get back at them.
Coach goes into the locker room, he says, we're gonna play them again. And he was just convinced of it, and he was just telling us, like, look, keep your heads high, we'll bounce back and we're gonna play them again.
At that time, at that moment in time, they were a better team than we were. And it was a great learning experience for our guys. That following weekend, we were at the Fullerton tournament, and our guys had a chip on their shoulder from that loss to Fullerton in the championship game of our tournament.
And we wanted our revenge right there, right away, ASAP, as soon as possible. But we ended up making it to the championship of that game, and they had already lost, so we weren't able to play them again. And that kind of like threw us for a loop, because that's who we were expecting and that's who we wanted to play. And then we ended up losing again for the second championship in a row.
Putting any team together is a process, and you're exactly right. It takes time. It was 14 guys getting to know one another and getting to trust one another, and you have to trust before you pour your whole self into something. And so that took time to develop.
And it was a great learning experience for us to kind of teach these guys every night. Every possession of every game matters. You can't take it lightly. You have to make the right play. At no point is there a time to necessarily be selfish. It's about the team. It's about the team goal. Giving up good shots for great shots. And they learned how to do that. It wasn't anything that was necessarily given by any means.
We were all on the same goal. We were just trying to put it all together as far as team chemistry, just all fitting in with each other.
You know, a lot of us was arguing with each other, fighting. You know, we had a lot of complications early on, and it was like, man, are we gonna be able to click together and come in? And I had texted Coach Mitch one day, and I was like, you know, our team chemistry is not there. He was like, don't worry about it. It takes time. It's not gonna happen like overnight. It takes time. So right there, I trusted in his word, and you know, over time, it changed and clicked.
The Knights started to find their identity as they continued to compete in tournaments. With some highlight plays and a few W's under their belts, the team started to come together. With a season high of 22 assists, 11 steals, and shooting nearly 65% from the field against LA Southwest, the Knights cruised to a 118-78 victory and earned their first tournament title of the season. And the momentum carried over to the next tournament at Grossmont College. Everything was going down. They continued their strong shooting in the first two games to land once again in the championship game of the tournament. Going up against the host team, the Knights took care of business and continued their hot streak. Whether it was their defense getting the job done or executing their offense, San Diego cruised to another tournament title.
You know, we got a few W's under our belt and our confidence was arising. And you know, we were still hungry because you don't want to only win a couple games because we haven't won anything at that point yet. So we still want to keep winning and keep winning. So that was a big help in our chemistry.
Those tournaments brought us closer because we were also traveling. So like we were coming away from the school, so we were going to different locations, staying in hotels. And even the hotel scene even brought us closer because, like, you know, we'd be in each other's rooms, we'd be clowning. We also came up with like our own lingo sometimes. Like we would always just, it would be certain things that would bring us closer because we all just adjusted to like everybody's deal, not just our own deal, you know.
The biggest thing that sparked us to win those tournaments was Coach Mitch, once again. Like, it was a Grossmont tournament where after the game, he came in the locker room like real energy and came in and started knocking over things. And everybody's like, what's going on? He had so much energy and we just knew that he believed in us and he was all in. So like right after that, we were like, we gotta be all in with him. And, you know, to me, that's where a lot of our motivation came from right there, see him do that.
You can't even put Coach Mitch into one word. That dude is more, he's a coach, he's a father figure, he's a teacher. It's not like you would always, any basketball player or any player of any sport period would love to have a coach like Coach Mitch, only because like, not only does he like, you know, challenge you and not only does he like get on you when you like mess up and stuff like that, but all it is just teaching you also how to be a man as well, so.
He comes out with more fire than anybody. So like when you see him coming out with that much fire, that much passion, and he's sweating, and he's yelling, and he's so emotional, it makes you want to be like, man, I want to give this guy 10 times as much as he's giving us. I want to give my heart to this guy, you know? Like he can be
pretty crazy, but then again, that's the beauty of it. Like any coach that's kind of like normal and kind of laid back, you know, you're not really like energized or kind of looking forward to coming to practice or talking because he's just that much different, you know?
I wasn't part of the program when Mitch came on board, but he almost immediately started winning. You know, conference championships, they went to the top 8, I think, in 2009. And so it's been a consistently good team, and in recent years it's gone to a great team, you know, and I think that's thanks to his leadership. He's got some fantastic assistant coaches, and it's to the point where he's really a draw, you know. People are coming to us because of our successes and because of Mitch. And so, yeah, I'm very proud to work with Mitch. Don't tell him I said that.
Heading into winter break, the Knights didn't stop their chemistry from developing. The team continued to be a family off the court and took part in Shop with a Jock, where all the athletic teams at San Diego City College took their time to help the community during the holidays.
It was a really cool experience because I've never thought like I would be like a part of something like so wholesome, you know? It was a good experience too because I've never been a part of something like that. And then like when it came to, you know, picking out the kid, you know, taking him around and shopping and everything like that. It was a cool experience because I've never done it before. Coach Mitch, actually, he does a great job of actually bringing us together and putting us in different like events and stuff like that to make us closer. So not only is it us, it's also Coach Mitch as well.
After a couple weeks off during the holiday break, the Knights were looking to continue their winning ways into the new year. But in their last tournament before conference play, the Knights were defeated by Bakersfield College, marking their 5th loss of the season.
I think that was a game where we kind of maybe coasted in based off of a previous game success.
That was like kind of a wake-up call, like, man, like we're losing to teams that we know we can beat, but we just coming out, just not prepared, we're not locked in.
That game, we actually came in lackadaisical, thinking we were too good. Especially me, I came in on the side just thinking like, you know, that it's gonna be a breeze.
I just remember just the disappointment we all had. Like we just couldn't allow ourselves to do that again. Like we knew that team they were a good team, but we knew that wasn't the best team we've played. We've beaten better teams, and we shouldn't have lost the game, even though it was by 2 points. Either way it goes, we shouldn't have lost that game. And like, I just remember being in the locker room just getting grilled.
Coach Mitch came in, smacked the whole water bottle fountain thing, and like really just ripped me apart, you know what I mean? And like that really told me like, yo, all right, I really am tripping. Like this is my last year, I gotta get it together.
I think we had such high expectations from ourselves. In the beginning of the season, we wanted to go undefeated. So by the 5th loss, we were like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Like we're better than this, and we knew it.
The team redeemed their loss in the tournament by winning the next 2. It wasn't the way they wanted to begin the new year, but they moved forward and were ready to start their conference games.
Like our coach would just tell us, like, we're getting there, we're just not there yet, but just keep working with it, keep being open, keep being aggressive, stick with the program. And I feel like once everybody got locked in, we were unbeatable, and that's what happened. Like we started running through teams and just like having fun with it.
We got to a point sometime, you know, in January, early January, where all of a sudden the guys truly cared more about each other than they did themselves. I mean, every guy was selfless. I don't remember a time after that moment in January where a guy was concerned with his own playing time. I mean, you couldn't see it in his eyes, you couldn't see it in the way he carried himself and his body language. Guys were coming in and out of the game, and they were celebrating each other with zero concern for themselves and their own accolades.
And one day, like a couple days at practice, it became more to us to like, we only go as far as we go as a team. So people started making sacrifices like on and off the court. Like our chemistry off the court was crazy. Every day we're with each other, like no matter what. It could be with this group of guys or with this group of guys or all of us together. So I feel like that was a key to our success because we weren't afraid to tell each other how it was on the court.
Win after win after win, the Knights were looking unbeatable against the teams in their conference. But even with a 6-game win streak, the team wanted it to be known that it wasn't all just luck that got them their wins. And for Mesa College, they happened to be in their way to prove it.
definitely became family because that specific game everybody wore Jordans. So everybody was already clicking, everybody was family. We was brothers after that. We was for real brothers after that. So, you know, it was fun. That was a fun time. It was a real fun time.
Whether it was the shoes or not, the Knights put on a show for the home crowd, and more importantly, showed that they were more than just a basketball team.
You could see every guy on the bench is like jumping over the bench and throwing towels up and celebrating as it's happening. No concern with how much playing time they were getting. They were just celebrating one another.
I just know my teammates have confidence in me to do what I do. So it was a great play actually. That play specifically and the reaction on the bench just really shows like how strong our bond was and love for each other and excitement we have for each other every time somebody on the court did well.
Yeah, it's crazy how athletic Rob is, man. He's like a freaking beast. He's gifted. Every time he jumps in the air, everybody goes crazy. You know, every time we already know it's gonna be something amazing every time he jumps. So
I think everyone wanted to see everyone succeed. Everyone wanted to see everyone shine. And so anytime there was a big play, didn't matter who it was, didn't matter what time of the game it was, everyone on the bench was going crazy. We really put the work in during practice hours, after practice hours, and we were just so hungry just to win for each other. Like we wanted to win for each other, not for ourselves, but for each other. And at that time, any team we played just caught us at a bad moment for them because we were just on fire at the time.
I don't want this to sound arrogant. It wasn't a surprise to me. You know, and what I mean by that is I always felt from day one through our recruiting process that we had all the pieces. Now, having all the pieces doesn't mean you're gonna win a game. You know, it's a different animal to get, again, a young group of men to kind of come together for a common goal. So many times in team sports, you have, you know, individual accolades that motivate a lot of guys. So it wasn't a surprise to me we were in the position, especially with the staff that we have, the players that we have.
They truly loved coming to the gym and working. I mean, they would compete every single day. They'd come into the gym and look forward to competing. They'd be pissed off when they lost, and they'd be celebrating and running around the gym and taunting each other when they won. I mean, I'm talking about practice against each other. That's just who they were as characters. And then I had such a phenomenal staff that every day we would talk about whether we won by 30 or had an amazing practice or not. My coaches were always coming to me as a coach, you know, we're really not very good at this. We need to improve on this. This guy needs to get better at this. I mean, so the staff was locked in.
We spent endless hours in the gym. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, we go from practice. Some people went to class, go get something to eat, come right back to the gym for hours, getting skill work and individual work in. And every night we're putting up 400, 500 shots. So it's like, I mean, not every night, but like every night we were putting extra hours in the gym. So seeing that hard work actually paying off, and it's a great feeling to know that when you put your mind to something, you can do whatever it is.
The awards and success of the players was a moment to relish for their hard work since January. With playoffs just a few weeks away, head coach Mitch Charlins was awarded Coach of the Year for the 6th time since joining the program in 2004. And sophomore point guard Darian McClain was awarded Conference Player of the Year. McClain averaged the team's best in scoring, assists, and steals.
It's, again, not surprising, but it is not by accident. It's because of the hard work of the team, the coaches. You know, I see them during practice. I stop by and watch for a few minutes. And you can see as the season goes on that they just get better and better. Gosh, Wonder Smith, Romario also were awarded PCAC first team honors. So to see that, it's really great.
Romario Wilson, first team all-conference guy coming off the bench. That's unheard of. I had 4-year university coaches at all levels almost being amazed that, wait a minute, you got a first team all-conference guy come off your bench? And that wasn't anything that we promoted him, that was other coaches being like, this guy could go, you know, he could play. So those individual accolades, you know, where guys set goals and as a former athlete myself, that's what you have to do to be successful. You set little goals. You know, you don't get caught up on them, but you'd like to do certain things through the course of a season. And I think a lot of those things just kind of came to these guys because they played the right way. They shared the ball, very unselfish, make the extra pass. And that allowed a lot of individuals to have a lot of success here and there throughout the season.
You know, everybody, of course, you know, people had their own like playing time. Everybody shined in their own way, and everybody kind of did their part like when they needed to, and knew their place. So, yeah, I can say that when Coach won Coach of the Year, when Darian won Player of the Year, that just done nothing like, yo, like once again, we kept being hungry, it kept getting more hungry, and it was just like, what's next? Like let's keep going. We can just keep stacking up these awards, keep doing what we've been doing, and let's see how far we can go.
The Knights were rolling in W's on and off the court through the months of January and February, and while riding a 12-game win streak and going undefeated in the conference, they were crowned conference champions for the second straight year.
I wouldn't say huge, I would say it was a step because we knew our end goal, what it was. Like we knew we were able to win the league. That was like a small step in order to do that. We knew we were gonna blow out the league. The problem was us not slipping up, having any slip-ups, being perfect. That was our problem. Like we wanted to be perfect so that when we go into the playoffs, we wouldn't have any slip-ups.
It also marked the 6th time the basketball team brought home the conference title. But even with the success, the Knights weren't satisfied with the results.
Definitely felt some pressure to go undefeated in conference because of the previous teams. And so once we finally did it, it felt good because it was like, that was a checkpoint we wanted to check off. Obviously it wasn't the ultimate goal, but it definitely felt good to hit that point, and then now we can look forward to playoffs and going to get a championship.
You know, last year we fell short right in the beginning, so this year I just wanted to go as far as we can. You know, we had conversations like 3 weeks before playoffs started, and we would talk to everybody like, yo, does everybody want to win? Like, are we all in? And everybody agreed, like, yeah, we're all in. So, you know, from right there, we knew like, there on out, we got to give everything we got. Can't leave nothing behind.
From their success throughout the season, the Knights earned the 5th seed and got home court advantage against Mount San Antonio. And even though it was the playoffs, it was the same story for whoever faced the Knights.
Yeah, it was no win or go home, it was just win. That's all we talked about was winning. We never talked about ifs, ands, or what happens, or it was just win. That's all the conversation was.
Those guys were locked in for 40 minutes, and that's very special. You know, as a coach, a lot of times you try to find ways to motivate guys, and these guys were motivated by hard work and winning, and that was special.
San Diego defended their home court and got the 2nd round win. And as if they didn't have enough motivation, the victory added more fuel for the team to get the job done in the 3rd round of the playoffs against Riverside City College.
We were more hungry and we kept our foot on the gas pedal because it was like, why settle for what San Diego City has been doing throughout the years? And like, we feel like this team right here was like, yo, like, I really feel the chemistry like deeply, like as far as like we can do it big. We can do it big and we were telling coach in the beginning of the season, we were like, yo, like this team right here feels like we can really get the job done. And yeah, we just never took our foot off the gas.
And in the driver's seat was sophomore point guard Darian McClain, who made sure the season didn't come to an end in front of their home crowd. Three after three after three, McClain couldn't miss. McClain scored a total of 21 points and went 6 for 7 from three-point territory in the first half.
Hey, I mean, I've seen him do it before. maybe not in a game like that, but definitely in practice, definitely just after practice. I've seen him get into that mode where he just doesn't miss.
It feels like once he sees one tray ball go in, they're all going in. So he's seen that first one go in and it was over.
Just so happened that, you want to send 2 to the ball, great, we're swinging it. The next man's going to be in a position to be successful, and Darian just happened to be in that position a lot and made plays. It by no means was it anything that was forced. If you watch that highlight, I mean, it just comes to him. It's not anything at any point in that game that he forced a shot or a possession or a bucket. It was just what happened.
And it seemed like his hot hand was contagious as the team nearly shot 60% from the floor.
We had 2 other guys with 16 points, 2 other guards, 16 points. One guy, I believe, had 8 rebounds. Another guy had 5 or 6 assists. We had other guys that were contributing in that game.
I remember getting triple teamed. I have a picture and there's 4 jerseys touching me from the orange team. So like, if they're coming down that hard, it's open season for our shooters,
Things never got better for Riverside City College in the second half. The Knights continued to light up the scoreboard, and with 15 minutes left, the Knights were up 74-44.
Against Mount Sac and then against Riverside, I mean, we hit our stride right there. It was crazy that we were able to play our best basketball, in those rounds of the playoffs.
McLean finished the game with a career high of 39 points after going 8 for 10 from downtown.
Darian, man, I love playing with Darian. He's so special, man. I'm dribbling, and I'm just looking for him. Because every time he get it, he let it go and just knock down, man. I love playing with him.
It was a great last game at City, man. That's all I can say. It's been a great experience. I love the coaching staff, love my team. It's been my favorite year so far.
With the 113-81 victory, the Knights punched their ticket to the Elite 8 tournament and were now just 3 games closer to achieving their ultimate goal.
Man, we're going to get it. We're coming. We're going to work hard every day this week. It's just going to come. And we all believe in each other, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
All I can think about is all the grind that we put in, the fights, the competing in practice, the arguments, all of it pay off at the end when you turn into a family. 28 wins to do that.
Man, I'm really excited, man. We've been working all season. I've been here for 3 years now. This is what I've been dreaming for. It's just really appreciating. Like, we all worked hard, played hard tonight. Just got the dub, came out strong.
All I can say is if we play our game, if we play our brand of basketball, how Coach Mitch has trained us, how Coach Mitch has prepared us, I think we'll be perfect. I don't think no team in the state can mess with us if we play our game.
And what's the number one strength you think the team has right now that's going into the next round?
Our defense and our depth. We're super deep. We got good chemistry, and we love playing with each other. Everybody loves each other, and we play great deep. We suffocate people on the defensive end, and it shows tonight in the 81-113 victory.
Let's go, man. We here, man. We here, baby. We coming, baby.